Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Digital Futures Education podcast. I'm here with Natalie Pierro, who is a English to Spanish translator, educator, ESL teacher, and language access expert. Thank you for joining us, Natalie.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you for having me again.
No problem. Thank you for joining. We're going to go ahead and move into our get to know us as educators questions, which is a great kind of warm-up activity. Natalie's going to ask me one question, then I think I'll go back at her with one. We'll switch it up. We'll go back and forth. So, Natalie, what's the first one for me?
The first one for you is, if you could teach any subject or grade level for a day, what would it be and why?
I'm going to think of this also as like if I was going to die the next day, like, and I only had a chance to do like one more day in my classroom, because, I don't get, like, I wouldn't want to teach something that I didn't know enough about. So, I'd rather go back to something that I'd probably enjoyed and kind of hadn't done in a while. So I would do, either like kindergarten art, which is like really super fun, or like high school art, like high school photography or art. Like I had like the best experiences at like those two levels, because kindergarten is, it's so experiential and hands-on, and art takes on like a different meaning. It's much more actually tied to the education in a way that people can relate to the value of it. Where in high school, like the students' identity is really a big part of their art, and getting to know the students individually. So I think that's where I would go. That's a great question. All right, it's your turn. I really like this one when I was thinking about what's the most memorable feedback you've received from a student?
I like it when they always thank me, especially after passing their Cambridge exams and, important exams that will open doors to them. They always thank me. And I like it when they say you make it like it's like you make it easy. It's like I enjoy it. You teach in a way that it's enjoyable, right? And I like it when and I also like when the little ones say, it's already time to go. When time flies, I love it when they realize that time has flown. It's because they were enjoying the class. I like awesome. I take it as a compliment when they say, already nice. Time to go. It's like, yeah, I like it.
That is really nice. Very nice. Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. That's really good. Yeah. And you have that like unique experience where like with a lot of one-on-one, which I think you get to like see the value more sometimes than you have.
One-on-one and big groups, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's when they realize that learning can be enjoyable, like, because, sometimes like it's a struggle, like learning is difficult, and it's nice when they see and when they can like say, well, it was actually an enjoyable class. I learned a lot. I sometimes ask my students, like, did you learn anything new today? And by the end of the class, like, yeah, I did. We learned this and that. So they like think about that they have learned something today, even if it was something small, and that it was enjoyable. That's what I like.
And they're enjoying the learning, right? That's the key.
They enjoy
it. Yes.
Because then it's the journey to as we always talk about lifelong learning. It's like enjoy learning forever, never stop learning, right? It should be enjoyable.
It needs to be.
Yeah.
All right, hit me.
I'll hit you with the other one, and that is, what is the most innovative project you have worked on with your students?
Okay. So there's like the one that I probably got the most attention for. And then there's like the one that maybe pushed me as a teacher. And I'm trying to think if it's the same one. I find that, I will say the one that I probably got the most attention for was because it did push me, but I kind of learned something too. So the most innovative project that I worked on was definitely probably, I decided to start a course on designing mobile apps for high school students in 2011. And I kind of decided to do it even before, there were not a lot of curriculum materials for this type of thing. So I learned a lot as an educator to go out and find things that I could adapt for the classroom. And then what I learned from this, which made it kind of innovative for myself, and then was that as an educator, since I was innovating my own learning, that helped me innovate it for the students. And what I found that when I try to do things like that, so basically by taking, 6 months to 8 months ahead of a class starting and digging into a bunch of resources, that I was able to kind of come up with materials for students and adapt them. And I kind of had to go a really wide range of curriculum materials. And I ended up having a really nice article written in a national EdTech magazine about my class.
Wow.
So I got started getting a lot of emails from around the United States, different places, different other states. And the article started getting pushed out to other websites. And, so I learned a lot from just that. If you take on something, what I learned was don't stay inside the box. If you have an idea, don't, just do it, and you usually have to have I had supportive people around me too. I didn't know how supportive people were until I just kind of I was allowed to do something. And then the world kind of opened up and I realized how supportive people were around me. And I think sometimes you have to realize you do need support around you to be innovative, and you need, you won't be innovative if you're kind of tied down. And then you also don't necessarily know how supported you can be until you do try something. And you won't know how much you learn, and you don't know. And I would say that experience also created 2 or 3 new jobs that I have now. I never would have been, I never would have, it gave me so much confidence, around my own ideas, around what I wanted to try to do, and I got to see students also have, it worked both ways. I got confidence from trying to do it, and the students got confidence from seeing something exciting in the classroom. And that was kind of modern at the time. And then after that, I felt this tremendous freedom, certain doors opened up and I had brand new types of conversations. And I saw how easily it can be to just connect. And that was really exciting. And the curriculum was really cool. We made apps, Android apps, and the kids got to design the apps. We put the apps on the app store. We made an app for the school. We did this. Yeah, it was really cool. And,
fun.
But it was, it was a whole cycle, and you have to remember the site, when you do something innovative, don't expect it to last, because most people aren't innovative at all. If you do something innovative, it's usually only going to be appreciated by people who are appreciating innovative things. And so be ready for it to not be sustainable, be ready for it to not necessarily stick around forever, but enjoy the moment, and enjoy pushing it. Yeah.
The experience.
Yeah.
And also when you think outside the box and you get like out of that comfort zone, that is when you grow, right?
Yes.
There's growth there, really, just exactly when you do something that you're kind of afraid of doing. And you get that boost of confidence.
And recognize that yourself too. Like give yourself a minute to recognize it. Like I think I recognized it when it happened, but I didn't, I'll be honest, like I didn't stay with that energy for a super long time, because there's part of you that kind of wants to be like, well, that's not what I do maybe every day, or that's not the type of project I do all the time. And there's like, but realize, it's possible if you want to take an idea. You just have to figure out where the idea is going to fit. And you don't know where the idea is going to come up, but you have to stay open to it too.
Yeah. Because I'm sure as you were teaching this class, things, you were making decisions as you moved forward, right?
Yeah.
you can't have everything planned out from beginning to end.
It was kind of like starting a business, like I had been self-employed a little bit before I was a teacher, and, like you can't plan everything. Like you make like a framework, and then you kind of try to figure out if that framework, is that going to work? Is this going to work? And then you have to you have to kind of leave room for growth too. But you should do that with students anyways, right?
And you teach that to students in a way, which is a great skill to have, to know that you should be flexible.
Yes.
Like getting from A to B is not that easy. It's not a straight line.
No, right? Not at all. Not at all. And
jobs are going to be there. Yeah.
No, thank you for that question, because I don't think I'd verbalized it that way before. Yeah, that's a good. But you want to check the article out. It's high school class gives new meaning to apps, and it was in the Journal in 2011, I believe, 2011 or 2012. The Journal. And the Journal is a well-known like educational tech publication in the United States. And it's cool. It was like one of the first big like publications on the web that focused on EdTech very consistently as like a news source. So because
2012, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, and things
now you think of an app, and it's obviously a no-brainer.
Yep.
It's that like more than 10 years ago. That
it was fun.
Super innovative.
It was fun, and All right, let me get you a good one. What's one book every student should read?
I think books are really personal. So whenever I try to recommend a book, it's like recommending a series, don't you think? Mm-hmm. I just quit recommending series because there are so many and people are so different and everyone has their.
But how about? Do you have one in mind?
Yeah, I have one in mind that I really liked when I was younger, and that is the Diary of Anne Frank.
Okay.
I think it's and it's one that whenever I get the chance, I suggest my students that they read it because it's a great coming of age kind of like for a teenager is I don't know, it's a nice story to know.
Yes.
I mean, there must be a million others that I haven't read because I haven't so many books, so little time, they say, right? But that is one that has always stayed with me.
Is that one of the, would you say, very consistently read books in schools in Argentina?
No. In schools, we read like the classics.
Okay.
That kids they tell me they are sick and tired of these are I know they are classics, but they are they don't relate to them anymore. They mean there should be something a bit more like relatable to them. So yeah, they read the same books that I read when I was their age. So yeah, I really like that one.
No, that's very good. That's a great suggestion.
For a. Mm-hmm.
All right.
What would you suggest?
Oh, I was thinking that, like, what would I like after I was like, I'm going to say The Pearl by John Steinbeck. That just comes to the top of my head because I felt like a little. Steinbeck is, as an American author, like I think he's great to have in schools. I just want to make sure, like, I'm not missing something that was like very impactful to myself. Like when I think of books, for education, I think I'm trying to think of something that like every student gets something uniquely different out of that adds value. Like if you like looked at the book as like a prescription, for like, that can be interpreted a lot of healthy ways to provoke thought.
Yeah.
I mean, The Catcher in the Rye is, such a great book.
Oh yeah. I read it.
I'm just trying to think if there's something I'm missing. I would say it's somewhere in between, like, and it's hard to get out of your own way with your own experience, because when you read books and you're younger, like they hit you so hard in different ways. But I loved reading The Pearl, Catcher in the Rye, and also Old Man in the Sea. So in between those three, definitely thought provoking. And, I think that you need literature that does that kind of catches you. And The Pearl, I like The Pearl because, it's a great character study. And I think you need that kind of help develop reflection skills, at a young age, like that people are not necessarily what they're giving you to their face or otherwise. Yeah. So, there's a lot of other types of skills that come from reading than just, digital pieces or, being able to interpret, words, so no, thank you for asking back that one. That's a good one to kind of, share. Thank you for joining, Natalia. I appreciate your time. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you. Have a good one. I'll see you. Take care.
So I'm just going to